So what we determined was that as we were thinking about the development of the new Marin's Community School, that we knew for it to be all that we hoped for the students, that it had to be something that was designed with a lot of input from a lot of different people on a community-wide basis. And why is that important? Because what we know about schools and schooling these days is these are not the schools of 20 years ago. That we need to ensure that the environment has the flexibility that we need, has an atmosphere of continuous learning, is encouraging to both the staff and the students, related to being more innovative than just sitting and listening. And so we thought all of those factors were very, very important. And I think the outcome has shown us that we did the right thing, and frankly, we probably could have done more.
One of the responsibilities I had on this project to build Marin's Community School was to support a collaborative effort for the design of the campus and the program.
Part of the importance of the collaboration was including our partners as well as our staff. So we had teachers and secretarial staff and administration and campus supervision, but we also invited our partners in probation and mental health and other agencies that work closely with our students to come in and be part of the discussions about what this new place called Marin's Community School would look like and feel like.
We used an inclusive model, including the staff in planning the building. We included students in a lot of the planning about the program, and included all of the community members in providing them with information about the school coming in.
I guess the greatest challenges are that everybody doesn't agree, which is of course part of life, and that's what education is about, is being able to have people that have varying views weigh in and keep our focus on what's best for the students and be able to come to some agreement. So that's definitely was a challenge. That's definitely, I think, a challenge because people didn't agree, and particularly these are students who definitely need something that's structured. But how do you make sure it's structured plus loose in order to provide them with an environment that really would get their creative juices flowing?
One of the greatest challenges with an inclusive process, there's a balance between efficiency and just making things, meeting deadlines, getting things done, and the financial reality that goes along with moving a project forward and trying to engage everyone. So I think the goal was to get as much input and collaboration as possible while still maintaining a vision for opening the doors at the new school. And then the other part of it is that there is a spectrum that we all have, that human beings have, about embracing change and resisting change, and knowing that we had to work with the whole team who are somewhere along that spectrum to continue the process moving forward, and basically to invite people into trusting that we're headed in a direction that is best for kids and supporting their learning and success.
And as we move forward, what we've been doing is at our staff meetings, we've done this with students already once this year, we'll continue to do it with staff as well, is to get their feedback on a consistent basis. So we have monthly feedback meetings where we're engaging students and staff with the process of looking at the program, looking at the facility, and giving feedback as to what needs to be changed, what needs to stay the same, what kinds of things we can do to engage students in a more effective way, getting feedback from parents and the community members. That will be our next part, is sending them a survey to get some feedback from them on what they think.
And my dream is that we will have students from all over the community that will hear about this school, not just the facility, but the way that the students are provided with a true pathway to what it is that interests them and provides passion about their school. that others are going to say, I want to go to that school?
At the end of our first tour of the campus, one of the kids said, please thank whoever made this happen for us. Right there, we've already started to change our students' experience of school and how we as the adults in the community value their learning and their being as our future citizens.
The students have been extremely excited about this space. They feel like they're wanted. They feel like there's finally a place for them. They feel important, and they love coming to school. So our attendance rates have been on a rise because I think the kids love being here, and we'll continue to reach out to make sure that they feel that this is a home for them and a place that they want to come to learn.
Over the past several years, I've had the honor of helping to design this school from scratch. We got to build it from the ground up, and the process of both designing the buildings and figuring out what is going to inhabit those buildings and how we're going to live and act in those buildings has been a tremendous experience. Using an inclusive model was incredibly important because I believe that all of the answers and ideas are within us. However, we start from a variety of perspectives, and by sharing those perspectives and getting them out on the table, everyone's ideas are broadened, and then we're able to take that baseline and figure out the path that we're going to choose. We didn't start with an answer in mind. Instead, we started with values, with research, and with genuine curiosity. By being inclusive, each perspective was heard and considered while we embarked on our research and investigation process for the best model. And at the end, we all understood the information and were able to come to consensus. With any change process, especially an inclusive change process, comes many challenges. Our task before us as a committee, Program and Culture Committee for the new school, was to design a mission statement and guiding principles that would steer every decision we make for Cove School. How we spend every dollar, what curriculum we bring in, how we act and talk with each other. So in doing that, you can imagine we had a lot of leaders, we had a lot of strong voices, we had a lot of passion. People's children's education was at stake. And so we experienced that passion, and the relationships were challenging. We had to have a real way that we were talking with each other and working together to come to consensus. And so through that process, we made it really safe to experience fear that comes with change. We acknowledged that there was a lot of discomfort and disequilibrium, and that felt okay for some people and not okay for other people. We let their voices be heard, and we really articulated how we talked about that, how we handled that dissonance. This inclusive model really helped bring to life meaningful change in realizing the Cove School. Every time we're talking about the way we are, the Cove way, everyone knows what I'm referring to. We have a common vernacular. We have common beliefs. People know what we stand for, and any conversation we're having, whether it's a conversation to celebrate something we're doing or talk about something we need to do, we know what is backing up that conversation. Our favorite word around here is iterate. Everything started out however it was on day one, but we knew full well it wasn't going to stay that way. We knew that as each process played itself out, we would iterate it. We knew that as we attempted each step along the way, it would need many, many iterations. And the really neat part about being here is that everyone's on board with that. Everyone understands that, and everyone wants to be a part of iterating everything at Cove School. Here at Cove, we have a growth mindset across the board. We know that we're striving to realize our guiding principles. So we're constantly evaluating and checking in. How are we doing with that? And then when we get that feedback, when we look at how we're doing, we then need to iterate what we're doing. We need to take that information and reflect, how can we make this stronger? How can we make this more pervasive? How can we make this more impactful, more efficient, more meaningful for what we're trying to achieve? We always know what we're trying to get to, but we don't always know exactly how to get there. And that is where iteration becomes our favorite word here at Cove. One of the most powerful things about the Cove culture is that if you asked anyone on our campus what we're working toward, they could tell you. And to me, the fact that everyone can name our guiding principles and everyone is working on realizing those as a team is magical. It's so much bigger than me as the principal being the leader. I can't do it by myself. The culture is in the hands of everyone here, and everyone takes that really seriously and is empowered by that.